Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm so happy to be with you here for the second year in a row. A couple of days ago, I gave my master class, and I think it was lovely, and I saved just a few little tips and tricks to allow you to become a super fast freelance translator. Let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Sameh Ragab. I'm an ISO 17100 lead auditor and certified translation provider. I am a registered translation vendor for the United Nations and World Bank. I work for so many other translation agencies. I completed my localization certification program from California State University in collaboration with GALA and the Localization Institute. I have been in the translation and localization business for over 27 years, and I love being a freelancer. I mean, it's one of those dreams that I managed to accomplish for the past 17 years. Okay. As they say, eventually time always runs out. Time is my worst enemy. But I hope in the coming hour, I'll be able to share with you some neat tips that you can go back home and start implementing immediately. And I will give you a link after the session. If you can just email me, or I can put it on the app, ATA app, and I will make the file password protected. So just make sure that you use this password to unprotect the file. Okay, right. Yeah. Don't worry, I'm always available. You can grab one of my cards and you're fine. I will provide that to you, yeah. Okay. So we need to always observe and honor copyright regulations. And actually, I use a lot of open source applications. So I really always give credit to the creators of open source applications. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not here to sell you any software. I'm here to share with you my expertise and what works well for me. There are hundreds of tips and tricks to make a translator faster and more productive. I have given a lot of tips and tricks during my masterclass, but I saved some tips that I selected for this awesome session. The myth that faster work equals low quality work has been busted a long time ago. Indeed, we can always aim to improve our productivity through finding ways to work and translate more quickly and efficiently while maintaining and even raising the quality bar. Mastering CAT tools allows you to boost your productivity. They should work for you, not against you, and we should never consider them as the necessary evil, okay? So I advise any of you who does not use a CAT tool yet to start using one. There are so many, STL Studio, MemoQ, MemSource, whatever fits your preference and work environment, just go for that because it will almost certainly save time and effort. And just as it pays to master your CAT tools, mastery of your other software, whether directly or indirectly related to translation or not, that can boost your productivity big time. Do not underestimate what machine translations can do for you. MT is very important nowadays. It keeps developing. And actually, you can use that in so many scenarios. Like, for example, if you are translating a list of names, that it in turn becomes a transliteration, and the machine can really help in that case. If you are translating country names, for example, you get them immediately, and with a bit of post-editing, you can just increase your productivity at least by 20%. Okay, How many of you, if I may ask, use the voice to text technology? Okay, what sort of software are you using? Dragon. All right, yeah, cool. But no. Yes, and that's why I'm talking about this now. Some of the languages are not supported by this engine, including Arabic, which is my own native language. And that's really pathetic, because this can increase my productivity by at least 40%, okay? So what I discovered is a tool that you can just add an extension, an add-on to your browser, Chrome browser. It's called Voice Note, and I did this recording on purpose using a very noisy environment, just to test the accuracy of this plugin, okay? Indeed, with all the noise, you can hear the beeps in the street and stuff like that, but still it was very accurate for Arabic. So let's quickly see how it works. As you can see, the noise. Sorry for that, but just for the sake of the demo. You can select your language, and you can see as many languages here. Even the language variation, like this is for United Arab Emirates.
أهمية السياسات الضريبية التصاعدية في التعامل مع التفاوتات المتشابكة في منطقة أمريكا اللاتينية والبحر الكاريبي.
So now I'll open my CAT tool, and on my other screen, because I assume that all of us use a couple of screens, right? This is the most productive way of doing things. So you just open the other screen and start dictating from the other SDL studio, for example, okay? And once you are done, like with 10 or 15 segments, you can just copy and paste quickly there. I hope in the coming future, it has been my wish for years, and I approach the people at SDL and MemoQ, and most probably, if they start seeing that session, then they will kind of integrate some solution into the SDL platform, especially when the technology is already established and it's free. So that can be something that they can negotiate with the developers of that tool, so that we can have the most productive approach. So it's called Voice Note to Speech to Text. Okay? Now let's go on.
الانتقال من الدروس المستفادة إلى الدروس المطبقة بشأن العنف القائم على نوع الجنس.
It gives an 85% accuracy for Arabic, which is extremely fantastic.
بلوغ المقصد النهائي.
Now once you're done, you start copying and pasting into your segments quickly. So if we have something like this inside the CAT tool, that can be very, very productive, instead of even the need to use something like Dragon, okay? So you start copying and pasting there, fixing any improper typos or the like, and then you're done. Okay. By default, an excellent translator should be excellent at translation. This is something that is quite natural. He should be an excellent linguist. He should master both the source and target language skills. He should be highly specialized in at least 3 to 5 domains. He should master computer skills. He should be an excellent reader and researcher, knows how to surf the web properly, how to quickly retrieve information. He should master at least one CAT tool. And at the end, he should be an excellent decision maker. That is, to be able to defend his translations, to say why I have chosen this term over other possibly used terms. Time is the most valuable thing on earth. Make sure to achieve more in less. And no wonder that we have the image of the man who said time is money, Benjamin Franklin, on the US dollar. So that is very symbolic. Yeah. Okay. For me, terminology is the most important part in the translation process. You can be an excellent translator, but if you do not have the proper terminology, the proper jargon used in a specific field, that means you will not provide a quality translation at the end of the day. So for me, I focus on building empires of terminology offline, just in case something happens to the internet, just in case somebody availed one website that contained a lot of valuable information for public, and then he decided to close that forever. So we are trying now to see the potential of increasing our leverage, of building our own empires from publicly available information and databases. This is a case study that I have made specifically. Suppose I have a document to translate. This document has like 3,000 words. It's for the UNESCO. I have absolutely no background, I will assume so for the sake of the demo, in UNESCO terminology. However, they do have a term base online. It's there, but we need to minimize the search time, and we need to think a little bit outside the box. I'm not gonna search for one term at a time. I need to search for a multiple set of terms just using an automated technique, okay? This is a very interesting drill. It's quite a bit overwhelming, but in this drill, we will quickly extract candidate terminology, learn how to do that using a free method, okay? There are so many tools in the market, like Synchrotherm, like SDL, multi-term extract. MemoQ has this by default in the application. You have to purchase a license for multi-term extract. And I use a simple tool called Phrase Miner, which is developed by Dave Turner, a great man who has actually developed Code Zapper. How many of you use Code Zapper already? Okay, so Code Zapper was developed by Dave Turner, and he developed an excellent mining tool. It's a set of Visual Basic macros that you can extract your candidate terminology from your Word files or any other resources. Okay? So we will learn how to concatenate columns in Excel, how to download multiple dynamic web pages at once, how to batch convert HTML files to text files for free, how to batch merge text files in just one step using just the command prompt, how to filter lines for a search pattern using regex, how to do a complex find and replace operation using regex, how to remove duplicate lines using regex, how to quickly create a term base and a translation memory from an Excel file, and finally, how to upgrade a TM to use the new uplift feature in SDL 2017 Service Release 1. So quickly, to save time, we start. In this demo, I will be building over 5,000 related and approved terms related to my own Word document, to my own project, in less than 30 minutes. So imagine how this can work for you. So this is the document I want to extract now. Okay? And I will go to my add-on, which is called Phrase Miner, here. And I will press Term Mine, okay, to extract the candidate terms from this document. It applies its own algorithms and then asks you to choose a stop Word file. Do you all know what we mean by a stop word file? Okay, a stop word file is those list of words that are common in any language and that are filtered out when you process natural language, any natural language. Okay? So things like this, that, on, in, forever, stuff like that. So you tend to exclude this from the term mining process. Okay? So we will add the stop word list provided by Dave Turner, phrase miner, and it will give you a list like that of the possible candidate terms. And as you can see, the frequency of how many times this word or term is repeated. If I look in the term base of the UNESCO for a term, I will tend to see that it gives me a URL above here. Before we do that, I will copy that list and I will place it in an Excel file. Those are the candidate terms that I would like to look for. And I can also, if I need to, I can create a whole word list and filter that for the stop words and get almost every word in the document after filtering the stop words. So now, if I want to do that, I can find a space and replace with a paragraph marker. So that means I get a whole list of all the words contained in that document. And then you can filter that and remove the stop words later on. For now, I will copy them as they are, and I will add them to my Excel file to the list of candidate terms that I have selected. And let's see if I search here. For every term that I search, I get to see this first part, okay? That's something generated automatically by the search engine, okay? Followed by the search term, which is task force. But of course, in order to look for task force, it adds a plus sign between task and force. So I am now going to replace my candidate terms to make that task plus force, sustainable plus development. And after the word force, you will see the rest of the pattern for the search pattern that is generated by that server for each term that you research. Okay? So those two patterns, this one and that one, after the term, they do not change. They are almost always the same thing. So now we will learn how to concatenate that to create our target book. I will go there and copy the rest of my words. Find space and replace with plus sign to make sure that I get a proper term to search for. So replace a space with a plus sign so that I can have task plus force. UNESCO's plus mission. Peace plus and plus security, etc. I will go and copy that there. Of course, I will get a lot of blank spaces, blank rows, so I can simply get rid of these in Excel by pressing F5, select blanks, and delete all those blank rows at just one single step. Go F5, select blanks, delete those sheet rows, and you're done with removing your blank lines instantly in Excel. Once we have this list, we will create a spreadsheet now. So basically, I will copy the first part of the UNESCO website search pattern. I will paste it in my first column, and then I will put the search word or pattern in my second column, and then I will put the second part of the URL, which follows the term that we are researching. I put it in the third column, and in the last column, which is formula, I will write my concatenation formula in order to combine all of these three columns into one final fourth column. The final fourth column will actually give me a search pattern for each and every term that I want to look for automatically. Is it clear now? Okay? So, let's see how this is done. We go to the website, copy the first part of the URL before the term, task force. This will be duplicated all over the column. I paste it here, and then go and copy the second part of the URL before I will copy my list of terms. Paste them in the second column. Those are the terms I'm willing to research now. And then the second part that follows the term, I will copy the rest of the URL. Again, this will be replicated. It's the same thing. It does not get changed at all. Copy that, and then drag from the handle here in that area to copy each, to replicate each of those patterns until we reach the last term or the last word to be researched. So here I will drag or copy. It will populate that part all over. It's exactly the same thing. Here I can go to that handle, drag and reach the last term or search word. And then here I will type my concatenation formula, which is equal sign, okay? Equal sign, concatenate, and then you open a bracket and concatenate column A2, B2, comma, B2, C2, close the bracket, and then you apply your formula. So instantly you will create a different URL for each search pattern. I think it's clear now. So now I have my list. I will go to my download manager, which is called Free Download Manager. It's an open source application. And I will simply copy my list and tell Download Manager to download all those URLs that I copied for me instantly, to copy them offline. That means it will copy all those HTML pages offline. Okay? So copy that, go here, and paste URLs from clipboard. Select the folder in which to save your HTML files. Press OK. Download, and you will have them in no time offline. Okay? Now, what we need to do is that those pages are not align friendly, because as you can see, lots of information, and what we are targeting is the English and the English term, and then the Arabic and the Arabic term or definition. Okay? So how are we going to do that? First of all, we will open the file to see how it looks like, and as you can see here, this is the English term, okay? So it's English followed by the term, and then Arabic followed by the term. I need to create a multi-term out of that complex structure. It's not an easy task. So, with a little bit of thinking outside the box, we will simply convert all those HTML pages into text files. I will remove some of the pages which are below 2 kilobytes because they contain blank information, no search results. So I will remove these. But above that 2 kilobytes, 4 kilobytes, that means it has some information. Okay? So I will now convert my HTML files using a free open source application, okay? I will convert all of them to text format. Okay? This is my tool, HTML as text. I can choose convert multiple files, and I can select my folder which contains the HTML files and add my mask star.html because I want to add all the HTML pages contained there. And then I can simply press convert. I can select how many characters per line just in case I have longer terms. Okay? And once this is done, you press convert and all of your HTML pages will be converted to text format instantly. Now, I need to work, instead of having to work on just single text file at a time, I will simply combine all these text files into just one text file using the command prompt in Windows. No, it just converting, yeah, to text files, yeah. Okay? So now I want to combine these text files into just one text file. So what I will do now is to go to my command prompt, run the cmd, change directory, go to the drive which stores my HTML files, cd, I go to E, drive first, and then change directory, and I go to my folder, that's the UNESCO, and then Untitled, cd Untitled, that's the subfolder, and then copy the command, copy space star.txt files, all text files, space 2, I give a name for my new file, which is new file.txt, press enter, and all of the text files get combined immediately. You don't have to get the software to combine text files anyway. So that is the trick here. And now I will open my text file in a decent and professional text editing platform, which is UltraEdit. Again, if you do not like to use UltraEdit, you can always use an excellent software, an open source software called Notepad++, which equally does a magnificent job as UltraEdit. I use UltraEdit because I'm a fan for a long time. So I will simply open my text, and here is the challenge. I see a lot of information, but I need to only get English term, Arabic term, and discard anything else. And for this, we need to use a little bit of Ricardo's magic, which is regex techniques, okay? Regular expressions. So I need to get just the English and the term, Arabic and the term. Now I will use a simple regex. This session is not about regex teaching. I will share that regex with you, but we can, if you would like, we can have another longer session about learning how to write regex, or you can attend Ricardo's. Okay, so you type your regex like that. I need to get only the lines that contain the word English, pipe character, or Arabic. Pipe character means Arabic. And then I choose my regular expressions as my engine, okay? And I choose Perl as the flavor of that engine. You have so many flavors like Unix, like Java, etc. but I'm going for pearl flavor. And I will now filter my search to show only these lines that contain English and Arabic. So I choose filter line and start looking, and amazingly, it shows me only just the sentences that contain English and Arabic. Now the challenge is, though this is only a display issue, but the other data is there. I can simply go to Edit, Delete, and select Delete Hidden Rows. So once you select Delete Hidden Rows, it will get rid of all the other unnecessary lines that do not contain English and Arabic, and that's the magic about it, and you just have English and Arabic. Now, I will do some housekeeping by removing stuff like descriptive stuff like link. This is just a description. I will remove some of the pick lists, like this is a WBG term, United Nations term. Those are all caps items. So I can use regex once again to remove them. And once I'm done, I can simply replace paragraph mark at the end of the line, followed by the word Arabic, and replace that with a tab character. So the word Arabic gets removed, and I get my English term, tab, and my Arabic definition. And then I can delete the word English at the end, and I'm done with having a perfectly tab delimited file. Amazingly, with a model like that, I built 5,000 terms in less than 20 or 30 minutes. Okay? You save as UTF-8. Yeah, you change the encoding to UTF-8. Okay? So, this is how to get rid of those uppercase pick list terms. I can also replace the slash remove with nothing, replace all, and now I will need to create a tab delimited file from this text file. So I will choose paragraph mark followed by the word Arabic, okay, space, and replace with a tab character. Replace all, and as you can see, the Arabic has gone, the tab character is there, and now I will pick the word English, because I do not need that, English space, and replace it with nothing. Now I have a perfectly aligned tab delimited file. Okay? I can easily create my term base using an open exchange application in Studio called Glossary Converter, which is free of charge. You can simply drag your tab delimited file or save that as an Excel, drag it, drop it in open exchange application, open converter, and it will convert a multi-term for you instantly. So that's the magic of using a bit of regex, automation, and text editing capabilities, and using a lot of thinking outside the box. I know it's a bit overwhelming, but you will have the handouts, and that's going, you will apply this on almost every website that has databases for you. If they are available for free, they are publicly available, you can go and tweak that process and start leveraging your offline resources. Okay? Sometimes if you would like to use the United Nations term base, and they say we have a maintenance on that day, how are you going to act? If you have something solid offline, that's what works for you. Okay, so let's move on to another challenge. which is building your dictionary and glossary empire. How many of you are familiar with glossary search engines like Babylon Pro, like Lingos, like AARD Dictionary, like Star Dictionary? Those are free glossary engines. Those are almost, except for Babylon, they are open source applications. And so many people contributed to creating free dictionaries that contains millions of words, and they are available for free. The problem is that all of these formats are encrypted, okay? So we need some tools to decrypt those files into text-based tab-delimited file formats that we can leverage and use in our own offline resources. So here, oops. Sorry about that, just a glitch in clicking the mouse. Okay? So this is the icons of Star Dictionary, Golden Dictionary, Babylon Pro, Lingos, and AAR Dictionary. They have dictionaries and glossaries in almost all languages, okay? So let's see. I will now show you how to convert a Lingos dictionary. Lingos has so many dictionaries into all languages, okay? It has the extension LD2, that's the extension of the Lingos dictionary file, and you can simply use a PHP utility that's available on the GitHub open source platform, and you can just place your dictionary inside the same folder of the converter, run the converter in that way. This is the folder. Run this converter exe. Just make sure that you have the dictionary at the same folder location, and then it will ask you for the input file. You type the file name exactly as you have it, plus the extension, enter, and then select by default that you would like to have a UTF encoding. That's optional, and for this I will select again UTF-8, and it starts converting, and you get a text file like that, okay? I will open that again in a text editor, but I will see a lot of HTML tags and tags in between brackets. That's no problem for me, because with regex, you can write a quick regex there to replace all those tags in between brackets with nothing, with a click of a button. I will share those regex with you. Do not be overwhelmed. They are easy to write. Okay, I have them as favorites so that I do not have to write them every time. And just click replace all. Again, use regex and Perl flavor. And you're done with an excellent tab delimited file, as you can see. Drag and drop into glossary converter and get your term base in no time. Now, I will convert a Babylon dictionary now, okay? And Babylon is has a hard encryption. So I came across a tool, uses reverse engineering. It's called Unpack BGL, which is available for free on the open source applications. I can simply open that tool and drag or import my BGL file. Those files are available for free. Those are free dictionaries, okay? Those are not copyrighted anyway. So they are free, but you have to use Babylon to open them, okay? So I'm taking the free dictionary and I'm importing that here. Open. convert to GLS. GLS is the text-based format, which I can open in Ultra Edit. And as you can see, that's the way. It's the term and the target, blank space or blank line, etc. So I will now replace every paragraph mark with a tab character, okay? And then replace every 2 tab characters with a paragraph mark, and I will have my tab delimited file in no time, okay? So a paragraph with a tab character, and then every 2 tab characters to skip one of them and replace with a tab character, and that's it, okay? 2 tab characters, as you can see, with a paragraph mark, replace all, and you have a perfectly aligned tab delimited file. Drag and drop into Glossary converter, and you're done. Okay? And there are other tools like Star Dictionary, and it has its own decompiler that you can use as well, but for the sake of time, I want to give you other things, okay? This is the Star Dictionary format. You can just rename the DZ extension to GZ extension, use WinZip or WinRAR to extract the star.dict dictionary, okay? Rename that one to GZ, extract it. It has a dict file there. Okay? So we rename all the dict IFO IDX file to have the same name. They should all have exactly the same name. Okay? These are the components of the Star Dictionary glossary. So I will open the compiler, browse and select the star.ifo, the file with an IFO extension. Browse for that file. Open and press decompile, and you're done. You have an excellent tab delimited file format. Okay, now let's give our productivity a boost using auto-suggest and regex, okay? Suppose I have a file that has lots of URLs, okay? Lots of dates, and dates in Arabic, they have to be written in a specific way to fit the United Nations standard, for example. So it has a longer form and not an ordinary form that you can do. Something like UFM, Union for the Mediterranean, it comes like that, but in Arabic I have to write like 4 or 5 words. Okay? I have a lot of acronyms that are to stay in English, untranslated, and I do not want to copy them from source to target. Things like that can really slow your productivity a lot. So we need to use an excellent tool, Open Exchange application called Regex Auto Match Suggest Provider. I go to that one in SDL Studio and start creating some rules, okay? So if I want to match words in all caps or acronyms, if I want to match email addresses, if I want to match proper names, Arabic month names according to the UN standard, now I'm creating match all words in all caps or acronyms. I will add my description, write my regex pattern, and then choose enable, okay? Once I encounter any segment that has acronyms like that, and these are not to be translated. Once I start writing the first character, it will give me a hit list, and all I have to do is to press space or tab, and it fills in the spaces. I don't have to write or copy these from source to target. So we are always looking for having auto-suggest mechanisms that make our life easier. So once you start typing C, you get to see all the hit lists that start with the word C. Select what you want to do instead of having to copy and paste. Okay? And so on. So I advise you to use regex, auto-match, suggest provider. It's great. You have to have a bit of regex knowledge or look for that, fill in the spaces, and then you're done with a great auto-suggest provider. Okay, how many times did we, during our surfing the web, we opened so many tabs, right? And actually those tabs are very important and you need to save them all at once, right? This is a repeated scenario, okay? So something, when you go like, for example, the United Nations, term-based, the unterm, it has what's called this pattern at the end in the search, question mark, URL query, equals, and the search term, or the key term that I'm looking for. If you want to use a download manager to download any of these pages, they will not be downloaded, okay? So we need to find a way to save offline whatever is open in my browser, and that's very easy with an an add-on. Okay, it's called Tab Save. You can add it to Chrome browser, and if I have like 100 tabs open at the same time, I can simply press Tab Save, and it will save all those pages for me offline so that I can use again to create term bases, do it, even put them, index them in an application like DT Search, which is the fastest search engine I have come across, and it searches terabytes of data in seconds, provided that you index the files first. It's fast in indexing and researching. It's called DT Search, and it has a plugin even now for SDL, TM, term bases, XLIF files, MemoQ XLIF files, etc. It's one of the best search engines around, okay? So if I try a download manager to download a page like this, it will not be downloaded, right? So what I will do is to create a custom list that I can tell Tab Save to go to that custom list and download it. It does not download, but it simply opens the files in the backgrounds and then save them automatically to the desired folder. Okay? So basically you need something, an automator, to open and close and save without any intervention from your side. Okay? So if I have a list of URLs, okay, I can simply copy them and then go to Tab Save, click that pencil at the bottom, paste the URLs, download, and as you can see, it opens the files below very quickly and starts saving them. That's a lifesaver, okay? And it's free. What we are talking about are all free applications. Okay, what else? Okay, scanned. Scanned is my devil. It's the nightmare that we all have to encounter every day. Unfortunately, not all languages are supported by OCR. How many of you have their own languages not supported by OCR? The Arabic for sure. Yes, it's a cursed language. What else? All language has properly OCR engines? Okay, this one at least works for Arabic. And it's free, so let me show you that quickly. Okay? We need to avoid being victims of those OCR limitations. If I have a multilingual file like that, in all languages, Arabic, Hungarian, Urdu, Farsi, Hebrew, Macedonian, Russian, Bulgarian, French, okay? I can simply create a Google Drive account. A Google Drive account. And it has a feature. I will save my PDF file as PNG format. It's an image format. And then I will load those PNG files. They are 1 or 10, depending on your PDF file. I will load that into my Google Drive, choose my drive, upload files, and then tell Google Drive to open those files using Google Docs. What it will do now is that it will open the files, run the OCR, give you the image first, and below the image will be the text, the live text, and as you will see, it has a 100% accuracy, or almost. At least for Arabic, this is a breakthrough. For Arabic speaking, Arabic native translators, you are lucky to have this, because sometimes you need to know the word count at least of a document, because otherwise, as a project manager, I would like to save, instead of telling the translator I have a document, he says, okay, this is scanned, and I will charge for the target word count. And by default, the target word count in Arabic is less, in English, is more than the source Arabic text. It gets expanded by at least 20%, okay? So I would like to put my 20%, and Harbi, please do not hate me. I would like to put them in my pocket and get the accurate target word count, the source word count for Arabic, in order to bill for just that, okay? So that's it. Use it. It's free so far. Okay. How to quickly overcome the cumbersomeness of incomplete instructions. This is an interesting case study. One, during the hurricane, the Harvey hurricane, they did something for the city of Houston, and they have so many organizations started, like charities, churches, and stuff like that, and they all assisted in the rescue operations and having people there at their homes and stuff like that. So I was given a file that has over 400 organization names, and I did not receive proper instructions. So normally I translated those names because they are translatable anyways. And then the project manager came to me after the project was delivered, and he said, Sam, we need to convert, we need to have all those Arabic translations in between brackets after the main English name. So I said, am I going to edit 400 organizations' names manually? And my brother said, well, give it to me. It will give me like 5 or 6 hours. I'll sit and do them. And I said, no, we have to use an automated way for doing that. Everything has to be automated. We have to think outside the box. So the idea I did is that I know that I have for sure my XLIF files, which contains the source English and the target Arabic, right? So I have a bilingual English-Arabic. What we need to do is to try to create a formula in Excel that we can use the Arabic name. I will show you in a bit. That's the way it looks like. This is Arabic. We need to replace this with English, followed by a space in between the Arabic in brackets, okay? Copying and pasting is not an option here for me. So I will use my concatenation skills with a bit of thinking outside the box. And I still have about a couple of examples, so if you would like to stick with me, if not, then, yeah. Okay. So I will create an Excel file that looks like this. And here I will get this from my xlif file, okay? So I have the English and Arabic, but in between, I will have a column that has only a space, and then another column that has an opening bracket, and then the Arabic, and then another column that has the closing bracket. And I'm going to concatenate all of these in a final column, okay? So that's the whole idea. But still, this is not the magical solution. What if I have that? I still need to go to the file and find and replace, right? For each one of these, or at least copy and paste, okay? So once I'm done with the concatenation, equal sign concatenate column A2, comma B2, C2, D2, comma E2, okay? Close the bracket, run, populate the whole formula across all of that and get your result, okay? Once you're done with having that, I will create a tab delimited file with just the Arabic, okay? I have the Arabic already, and the new format that I want to use. So I will create a tab delimited file of that, just like that. And I will open a great tool called Word Pipe. It's called Word Pipe. And I will use my text file to look inside my Word files to find and replace automatically without any intervention on my part. So I will save that as a tab delimited text file, and then the tool is called Word Pipe. So I will simply, okay, add a search and replace list, which I just created using the concatenation method. Add that. Open. Select which parts even to replace inside your Word file. You can skip the headers, footers, etc. And then scan for the files, add your folder, and subsequently subfolder as well. Okay? And then tell the tool to start finding and replacing automatically. It will do the job perfectly. But then again, the project manager, he hates me somehow. So he says, wow, great job, yeah, but we need to apply that in the xlif files as well. I say, God, Jesus, what's that? Okay, so I will do the trick and help him still, again, thinking outside the box. And as you can see now, it replaced them English followed by Arabic in brackets, okay? In order to work on xlif files and do a similar batch and replace process, I will use another tool. It's an open exchange tool. Okay, and it's called Text Crawler. Text Crawler. Okay, so I will add my folder in which I want to look inside. Okay, and do a batch editor, import my list, the tab delimited file that I concatenated, press OK, import, and as I can see, the actions that will be applied using regex find and replace, and simply you start finding in the Excel, in the Word files. It will give you the results, and select that one and choose replace, and it replaces all the xlif files instantly for you. A batch and replace. Okay? Again, it's all about automation. So What else? How many of you, like me, suffer from the RSI syndrome? Repetitive strain injury syndrome, okay? Right? For that, we need to use a tool to give us auto-suggest, okay? How many of us write emails every day like, dear client, I received the job, I will take a look and reply to you right away, right? We need to create sort of templates for those stuff in order, if you trigger just a couple of characters, it will trigger everything, the whole template for you. So you don't have to repeat that on and on and on, okay? So, it's called Phrase Expander. It's one of, we have another one called Phrase Express, but I personally prefer Phrase Expander, and it simply works like that. You can go and create a phrase, and in that example, I will add my own signature. So at the body of each email, I can simply type SIG and hit Shift, and it will add everything, my whole signature. Even a rich formatted signature, okay? Even with my image signature, everything. It will trigger that in not only in a particular software, but in any application, including SDL Studio, including MemoQ, and emails, browsers, whatever. So Phrase Expander is used to make our life easier. Simply create that. Okay, and then type the abbreviation that you are going to use, give it a description, and then abbreviation that's SIG, that when I type SIG and press Shift, it will trigger that for me immediately. They have a test pad, and I can even create my own glossaries and something to act like an auto-suggest, exactly like the auto-suggest that you see in SDL Studio. And it works in all applications. Shift, and it populates everything. Download that software, have a trial version of that, try it. If you like it, I think it will make your life easier. So thank you very much for coming to my session today, and I hope you liked it.